you?
I'm good. I'm Dora. Hi.
Really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It was busy.
Yeah.
But you managed without scratches at the car. I called a programmer and she told me that you are such a versatile artist and your work is represented in the Blackout exhibition at the Kunsthal and you have 11 shorts here. You are at the Deep Focus Short program at the IFFR. I saw your resume at your website and I just got a sore hand scrolling down. Oh my God, woman, your filmography, it's you do so much.
It's lots of little films though, so it's not a lot.
Oh, it's just little films. You just do them and so you can't imagine yourself doing a film in a studio?
No, you know the main reason is because you do have to explain everything you do when you work with other people's money, and it's a lot of money and they want to get it back, and you're very responsible and everybody wants everything explained and it has to make sense to them, and often I'm doing things and they don't even make sense to me, so there's no way I can explain it to someone else, you know? So it's just easier to work smaller and like more handmade and with small amounts of money, with friends like who trust me and I trust them, and then no one loses, Yeah.
And is it because you use public space so much in your work? Is that a consequence of how you just walk around in life and look around you for places, or is it the other way around?
I think a lot of why I make films or art is mainly just out of a social interest, social justice and things, and so public space is really important when you're thinking about cities, neighborhoods, communities. It's how you share space with other people that really matters. So I think that's why I'm interested in that. Is like combining like public spaces with art, because I think art does something for people that other things don't do, in the sense that you may not have a epiphany or change, but just for a moment you just might be more open or more vulnerable to a different idea about yourself or about someone else. And so to do those two things together, like be in public and still have people maybe be more open or vulnerable or empathetic, seems like a great way to kind of foster a kind of like an envision and help envision it, like the kind of world we want to live in a way,
But we are more vulnerable also in public.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, and in some ways that's why, oh, there it is again. Oh my God, look at this. Wow, this is crazy.
Yes, the Markthal.
Oh,
the
everything.
Everything.
Wow. Fantastic. Yes, this is what I wanted to see. Thank you.
In your film, Sojourner,
yes,
it's in the desert. But of course the desert and the port are completely opposite worlds. But it's also a place where, if you think of nomads passing by and going through different places, so it maybe has the same sense of openness.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people go to the California desert to escape and to to leave the world, but they just kind of bring it with them. So Noah Purifoy, the artist who made all those sculptures, he sort of replicated the same thing that he had done in the city, like built like an art space or a space for other people.
Because this film is situated in his museum. The complete name is
the Noah Purifoy Outdoor Museum.
Yeah, the Noah.
And it's really just his artworks, his sculptures out in the desert on his land. So museum, it's a collection of his artwork. Yeah, it is. But it's really only his artwork.
And why did you want to film it there?
Because of who he was. Like, one, I think his sculptures are really wonderful. I love the fact that he builds them out in the desert, so he knows that they'll like decay like pretty rapidly. So it's not about sort of like making something that lasts forever. It's much more about just making almost like an offering, and it's going to come and go. You can take it or you can leave it, and then it's open, so there's no fence around this, so it's like he's giving it away. I love the generosity of it. It's easy with your art to be very sort of protective and fearful of what will happen.
And in the film, this group of women has this spiritual journey through.
It seems like, yeah.
It seems like, yeah, says the maker.
Yeah. And there's three voices in the film. There's I quoted from a book written by Alice Coltrane, a musician, the wife of John Coltrane, who was a musician in her own right and amazing, and they were both very spiritual people. And she wrote a book about leaving her body and traveling on astral planes, and then that was in the 1970s. And I found another journal by a woman written in the 1830s. In Philadelphia, a Shaker, which is that religious cult where people dance to worship and they don't have sex. It's very extreme religion that died off. And she had the same vision. She would leave her body, and she had this one vision where she left her body and saw the planet. And she describes it. She describes like being out in the atmosphere and how there's no oxygen. It's just like being underwater. She describes like you can see that there's like a ring around the earth, and that's like what's protecting us on earth. And this is in 1830. And I actually was trying to do research about like, would it be possible, like the first photograph of the planet was from like the 60s, right? So how did she know this? Like, so I was trying to find research of like what hot air balloons, how would anybody have gotten up so high? And there's like no real explanation for this vision she describes in great detail. And she was also a very independent person and had this communal household. So I was just really trying to like imagine a world that was run by women like this, who have these amazing visions, who are very generous.
And you were nominated for the Amodo Tiger Short competition.
Oh yes, I'm in the competition. Yeah.
Okay, what if you win 5,000 euros? What do you do with it?
Well, I probably, let's see, what would I do with it? Buy some shoes, buy some records. No, I would probably make a film with it or something. Yeah.
Probably in the end.
Yeah, probably in the end, just go back into this, like making work. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it because you said it in the first instance that it's difficult to get money?
Yeah, and like because I like to work with small pots of money, like that's a perfect amount of money to make a little film. Like I could pay my friends.
Is it, if you have 5,000,
I could make like a 5-minute film and pay everybody and have fun and eat well. Yeah.
Yeah, your rent also.
Yeah,
has to be
pay
paid.
the rent, pay the studio, like insurance, all those things.
And before we leave, what in a few years, how do you want to evolve yourself? How do you want to go look back at the Cauleen in 2019?
Maybe it would be great to be helping other filmmakers, younger filmmakers. That would be really nice.
And as an artist, how do you want to evolve yourself, or you just go with the flow and you see it?
Yeah, you have opportunities and you just like enjoy them and try and be as ambitious as you can. And maybe the next time I make a movie, it's 500,000 euros instead of 5,000 euros. Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah. Fun. Also fun. I don't mind. It's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good step from 5,000 to 500,000.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. Thanks for the conversation.
Sure. So nice to meet you. Thanks
so nice to meet you too.